You were whole, not in a way you had to become, but in a way you already were, complete, connected to everything. Call it God, call it source, call it whatever you want, but there was no separation, no distance between you and anything else. You knew everything, not intellectually, but completely, like knowing without needing to think, like truth without question, and in that, there was a kind of perfection. But something was missing, not because you weren't enough, but because you hadn't experienced it. You knew what love was, but you hadn't felt it from the inside. You knew connection, but you hadn't felt separation. You knew truth, but you hadn't felt confusion. And without that, there was no contrast, no depth, no experience. So something had to happen, not by accident, but by design, because knowing alone wasn't enough. It needed to be lived, felt, experienced, and the only way to experience yourself was to become something that could feel separate. To step inside your own creation and see it from within. You could call it God, wanting to know itself by experiencing itself, not from above, but from inside the experience. So, you chose to enter, and to do that, you had to forget, not partially, completely. You forgot your wholeness, you forgot your connection, you forgot what you were, and you became this. A body, a name, a story, separate, alone, limited. And it feels real, because from inside it is. You feel the distance, you feel the struggle, you feel the searching, trying to understand, trying to find meaning, trying to come back to something you can't quite remember. And every now and then, there's a moment where something feels familiar. Not in your mind, but deeper, like a quiet recognition, like you've touched this before, and just for a second, you feel it, that you are more than this, and then it fades, and you're back in the role, back in the life, forgetting, again, but not completely, because something always remains, a subtle pull, a quiet knowing that there's more, and maybe that's the point, not to escape the experience, but to live it, and slowly remember. The Earth game is the experience of consciousness taking on a human life, not as something separate, but as an expression of it. You could think of it like a wave in the ocean, not separate from the ocean, just temporarily taking form, and for a moment, it looks like something on its own. What you actually are. At the most fundamental level, you are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are not even your personality. You are consciousness, aware, observing, experiencing, not a consciousness, but the field of awareness itself, expressing through a point of view. Think of it like this. The body is the avatar, the mind is the interface, and consciousness is the player. You don't remember this, because the whole experience depends on it. If you fully remembered what you are from the beginning, there would be no fear, no stakes, no growth, no experience of becoming. So there's a kind of built-in condition. You agree to forget, so that the experience feels real. Not as punishment, as design. The Earth game is not about learning facts, it's about recognition. The core realization is simple. You are not separate from reality. You are participating in generating it. That's the shift. From life is happening to me, to life is happening through me. The three functions you are doing simultaneously in the Earth framework are: 1. You are picking up signals like an antenna, information, energy, patterns, like a radio tuned to a frequency. 2. Your senses and brain translate that signal into sight, sound, meaning story. This is what you call reality. 3. You co-create through attention, belief, emotion, intention. You influence what patterns stabilize into your experience, not instantly like magic, but continuously, like tuning a field. So what is your human body really? Your body is not you. It's a biological interface system, an incredibly advanced one. It allows sensory input, touch, sight, sound, emotional feedback, fear, love, connection, interaction with the physical layer. It's how consciousness gets to feel. Without a body, no touch, no contrast, no separation, no story. The body gives you texture to existence. What is Earth then? It's not just a planet. It's a structured environment for experience. You can call it a simulation, a reality field, a learning system, a consciousness playground. But here's the grounded way to say it. Earth is a rule-based environment where consciousness can experience limitation, separation, and creation within the rule-based environment. It has constraints: time, space, physics, cause and effect. Those constraints are what make experience possible. Without rules, there's no game. What are you really here to experience? Not success, not perfection, not even awakening as a final destination. You're here to experience energy through polarity, because without one, you could not experience the other. Separation and connection, forgetting and remembering, fear and love, limitation and creation, and most importantly, to experience yourself, from inside the illusion of not knowing yourself to remembering. What remembering feels like. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's quiet, subtle. It doesn't arrive all at once. It shows up in small ways. A quiet knowing that this isn't all there is. Moments of connection that don't need explaining. Awareness instead of reaction. Space where there used to be noise. You don't leave the game. You just stop being completely lost in it. This is shift that changes everything. Once you see this clearly, even a little, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What am I experiencing through this?" That's the turning point. If you had to explain it cleanly, you are consciousness. The body is your avatar. The mind is your translator. Reality is a structured experience field. Life is a process of forgetting and remembering. And the purpose? To experience existence, as if it were separate, while slowly realizing it never was. Are you meant to experience bliss? Yes, but not constantly. Bliss is not the end state of this experience. It's a byproduct of alignment. And the moment you start chasing bliss, you actually move out of alignment. Why? Because this environment is built on polarity. Everything here exists in contrast. Expansion and contraction. Clarity and confusion. Love and fear. Not as a mistake, but as a mechanism for experience. Polarity is what makes experience possible. You wouldn't see the stars without a dark night sky. You wouldn't feel warmth without knowing cold. You wouldn't recognize peace without first experiencing chaos. So what is negativity really? It's not punishment. It's not failure. It's contrast. A temporary state that allows you to feel, recognize, choose. Without it, there's nothing to compare against. No depth, no experience. And this is where people misunderstand it. They think, I need to eliminate all negativity. I shouldn't feel this way. But if you removed all contrast, you wouldn't feel anything. You wouldn't experience love, joy, connection. because there would be no reference point. Even within yourself, polarity exists. You have an ego that comes out in the experience of separation, identity, protection, and survival. You also have a soul, which comes out in the experience of connection, awareness, unity, and presence. The ego isn't the enemy. It's the structure that allows you to experience separation. And through that separation, you get to rediscover connection, love, and unity. Without ego, you wouldn't experience divinity. You would just be it, without awareness of it. No story, no contrast, no realization. So what's actually happening here? Having a human experience, you move through disconnection to connection, from fear to love, from forgetting to remembering. And that movement is the experience of self-realization. Instead of asking, why is this negative thing happening to me? You start seeing, this is part of the contrast that allows me to experience something deeper. So the real answer is, you're not here to stay in bliss. You're here to become stable within yourself, regardless of what you're experiencing. And from that stability, bliss begins to show up more often. What awakening actually changes? Before awakening, you are inside every emotion. You react automatically. You think the experience equals you. After awakening, even partially, you see the experience. You have space between you and it. You can choose your response. That space is everything. That's where alignment begins. So how do you shift your state? Not by forcing positivity, not by pretending everything is love and light. That's bypassing, and it backfires. You shift by becoming coherent. Think of yourself like a signal. When your thoughts, emotions, actions are all pulling in different directions, you feel scattered, heavy, chaotic. But when they line up, you feel clear, grounded, calm, sometimes blissful. That's alignment. 5 real ways to shift your state. 1. Regulate the body first. You cannot access higher states from a dysregulated nervous system. Start simple. Slow your breathing. Get sunlight. Be in nature. Bliss doesn't come to a body in survival mode. 2. Internally. Tell the truth. Misalignment often comes from subtle dishonesty. I'm fine. I don't care. But you do. The moment you tell the truth, your system begins to reorganize. 3. Stop resisting your current state. The more you resist, sadness, anger, confusion, the longer it stays. Allow it, and it moves. 4. Shift from control to observation. Stop trying to fix everything. Start noticing your thoughts, your reactions, your patterns. This brings you back to the observer, which is what you actually are. 5. Choose small alignment. Don't jump from chaos to bliss. It won't hold. Instead, tension to slight ease. Overwhelm to one clear step. Disconnection to one honest moment. Alignment grows. What does bliss actually feel like? It's not excitement. It's not even happiness. It's stillness, fullness, nothing missing, no urgency. Like everything is okay, even if nothing has changed. The truth is, you don't reach higher states. You remove what's in the way of them. That's the work. You're not here to chase bliss. You're here to become so aligned with yourself that peace becomes your baseline, and bliss visits naturally.